Hello guys, and welcome back to our class. And now today we want to look at the past question. And this past question, it was a problem solution essay. And it was done on 20th June 2026. 20th June 2026. So let's find out what was the question and how do we handle such a question if you're given a problem solution essay. Now, this is the question. In many countries, that is the question. In many countries, new graduates face problems. New graduates face problems. New graduates face problems in finding suitable jobs. In finding suitable jobs after completing university. After completing university. Full stop. The first question was, why is this the case? Why is this the case? Then the next question was, what solutions should government the government take to resolve this? Take to resolve this. Very good. So this is the question. We have a question here, and why am I calling it a problem solution essay? Because we will have, I hope you know that in the first case, you are going to be asked questions of this nature if it's a problem solution essay. Some cases, they will ask you, what are the causes? Sometimes they ask you the reasons. They ask you for the reasons. And sometimes they ask you for the problems associated. So this is the format or the nature on which a problem solution essay appears. They can ask you the causes, what causes this? They can ask you the reasons, or they ask you, why is that the case? So if they're asking why is that the case, definitely they're asking for the reasons. Why is that the case? The reasons. Then they can as well ask you the problems associated to this. And that is the first question. Then the next question, they will always ask you the solutions. They will always ask you for the solutions, or they can ask you also the effects. What are the effects of this? So that is the nature of a problem solution essay. I hope you understand how you can actually differentiate these question types from the opinion essay, discussion essay, problem solution essay, advantage, disadvantage, and two-part. Now, this is how we identify. We have already known that it's a problem solution essay, right? That is the first step. Identify which type of the essay is this. It's a problem solution essay. Why? Because you have two questions, and one of the questions is asking about reasons. It's asking for reasons, it's asking for the problems or causes. And the next question is asking for the solutions, or it's asking for the problems associated. Good. After that, what happens? You ask yourself, what is the structure of this question? How do I write a problem solution essay? How do I write this? How do I write that? A problem solution essay. Of course, you know that you will require an introduction. You will require an introduction. You will require body paragraph 1. Body paragraph 1. Then you will also require body paragraph 2, and you will require a conclusion. You will require a conclusion. So that is the structure of our essay. But what happens in the introduction? What happens in body paragraph 1? And what happens in body paragraph 2 and the conclusion? As you continue to ask yourself these questions, that is when now you understand that you will tackle the question very well. Very good. Let's look at the introduction. What happens at the introduction? At the introduction, we are only having 3 sentences. In the introduction, we will have 3 sentences. Our introduction will have 3 sentences. I can't find where to write, but our introduction will have 3 sentences. The first sentence is the paraphrase. You will need to paraphrase this topic statement. You will need to paraphrase this topic statement. That is for the introduction, the first sentence. Then the second sentence, you will need to give us reasons. Why is this? You answer the first question. Why is this? Give us at least 2 reasons. At least 2 reasons. Why is this? You can give us at least 2 reasons. And then, what solutions? Remember, they're asking for the solutions, meaning the question is in plural form. You can also give us at least 2 solutions. 2 solutions. Why is this? And what are solutions? So this will form our second sentence. And this solution will form our third sentence. And that's how we will come up with our introduction. Our introduction will have 3 sentences. The first sentence is the paraphrase. The second sentence is answering the first question, where you give out the reasons. And then the third sentence, you will now state your solutions. Are you done with the introduction now? Good. Let's now move to body paragraph 1. What are you going to do in body paragraph 1? In body paragraph 1, you are going to discuss the first question, the reasons. Why is this the case? You have to discuss the reasons. In body paragraph 2, you're going to discuss about the solutions. You're going to talk about the solutions. Just discuss the solutions. How many? At least 2. You have 2 solutions. Are we there? So that is the structure. And then you will have the conclusion. Without forgetting, you'll have the conclusion. Of course, the conclusion, you will mirror exactly what you wrote in the introduction. You'll have summary of the paraphrase, summary of the reasons, summary of the solutions. Good. Can we now write our essay? Yes, we have the question, so we can now start writing the introduction. We can now start writing the introduction. We said our introduction will have 3 sentences. Yes, our introduction will have 3 sentences. The first sentence is a paraphrase. The second sentence will give the reasons, and the third sentence will give the solutions. Very good. Let's now write the paraphrase of that sentence, of that topic statement. Now, this is the question. Now we have the question. Now let's now paraphrase. Let's now paraphrase. We can say, in many nations, in many nations, university graduates In many nations, university graduates encounter difficulties in securing securing suitable employment after completing their studies. Good. That is our paraphrase. In many nations, university graduates encounter difficulties in securing suitable employment after completing or finishing their studies. That is our paraphrase. That is our first sentence. Now, sentence 2. We said that we have to write reasons. Why is this the case? That's why we answer that question. This problem is mainly caused by lack of practical experience, work experience. Yes, practical work experience. It is mainly caused by lack of practical work experience and intense competition in the labor market. So we have at least 2 reasons why this is happening. Why are university students struggling to secure suitable jobs? It is because of lack of practical work experience and intense competition in the labor market. So we have 2 reasons that makes us believe or think that this is why the university students are struggling to secure jobs. Now, this is just my example. We have several reasons why this is happening. You can as well write them. And after you've written them, we now move to the third sentence. Now we want to give out the solutions. You remember they said, what should the government do? Okay? To address this issue, that is the third sentence. To address this issue, government should introduce internship programs okay? The government should introduce internship programs and implement policies What policies? That create more employment opportunities. Good. you have your introduction. You have your introduction. You have reasons why this is happening, and you have the solutions. We are saying that the government should introduce internship programs, and also they have to implement policies that will create more job opportunities in the labor market. So that is our introduction. Comprises of 3 sentences. This comprises of 3 sentences, and we have our good and very brief introduction. Now, this means that these 2 courses, whatever we have written in our second sentence, will form our body paragraph 1. That will form our body paragraph 1. And then now this, it will form body paragraph 2. That will form body paragraph 2. Very good. Let's now move to body paragraph 1. Let's now move to body paragraph 1. Yes. Very good. Let's now move to body paragraph 1. Body paragraph 1. We want to discuss now the reasons why that was happening. Why that was happening. Why was it happening? Why are students struggling? Why are university students struggling to secure jobs immediately after they have completed their studies? We want to see this in now a full body paragraph. Very good. How do we begin? To begin with, comma, many university graduates struggle. Many university students struggle to secure employment because they lack practical work experience that is needed by the employers. They lack practical work experience that is needed by the employers. Okay, now this means that comma, employers often regard them as unprepared for workplace, Okay, they regard them as unprepared for the workplace since they require additional training. Before they can perform their duties effectively. before they can perform their duties effectively. Good. Before they can perform their duties effectively. So because they lack this practical work experience, they are now regarded as unprepared, and therefore employers now cannot absorb them. They cannot absorb them. Okay? They cannot absorb them because now how will we absorb you if you do not have work experience? Okay? The third sentence we say, furthermore, graduates also face intense competition. Graduates also face intense competition. Okay? They also face intense competition in the labor market. In the labor market, okay? In the labor market, because universities produce large number of degree holders every year, because universities produce large number of degree holders every year. Every year, okay? While economy creates relatively few. While the economy creates relatively few entry level positions. Few entry level positions. Full stop. Now, we are saying that they also face intense competition. Why? As the university is busy, or the universities are busy producing more graduates, the labor market now, on the other hand, it is not creating more positions. Rather, it is creating relatively few positions, few entry positions that cannot absorb all the university graduates. It cannot accommodate all of them. Now, it makes them difficult. Now, this makes the students or the new graduates, makes it difficult for them to secure employment. For example, we need an example here. That is our fourth sentence. For example, comma, a recent graduate who has no internship experience, a recent graduate who has no internship experience, a recent graduate who has no internship experience may apply for a position, may apply for a position alongside okay, alongside hundreds of other applicants hundreds of other applicants, and this significantly reduces hundreds of other applicants who have, yes, who have work experience, and this will significantly reduce the graduate's chance, will reduce the graduate's chance, it will reduce the graduate's chance of being hired. Yes, let's say I'm the fresh graduate, and I now go out in the labor market to secure employment. I have no experience, no internship experience, nothing at all. Just have papers, degree. But then a position is advertised and so many people apply. But among the applicants, many have work experiences. Many have 2 to 3 years work experience, 5 years experience. Maybe some did internship, but I have nothing. So my chances of being hired are minimal in this case. That is the example that we are giving out here. Now, we need our last sentence here. Let's wrap this and we put our last sentence here. Therefore, yes, that is our fifth sentence. Therefore, comma, the combination of insufficient practical, work experience and fierce competition okay, and fierce competition in the labor market makes it extremely challenging for many graduates to find suitable jobs. Makes it extremely challenging for many graduates to secure or find suitable jobs or employment. That marks the end of our body paragraph 1. Therefore, combination of insufficient practical work experience and the fierce competition that we have in the labor market, makes it very difficult for graduates to secure jobs or to secure employment. Very good. That is our body paragraph 1 with 5 sentences, and we have discussed 2 reasons why that is happening. Now, let's now move to body paragraph 2 and talk about the solutions. How can the government solve this? Right? How can the government solve this? How can the government solve this? This is body paragraph 2. Now, we are talking about solutions in body paragraph 2. In body paragraph 1, we talked about the reasons. Good. How do we begin our second paragraph? How do we begin our second paragraph? We say, to solve this, comma, the government should establish yes, the government should establish nationwide internship and apprenticeship programs. Okay, they have to establish internship and apprenticeship programs to ensure the university students gain what do they gain? They gain practical work experience. They gain practical work experience before joining the labor market. Yes, if the government introduces these programs, many university graduates, they at least will have the practical experiences and work experience that the employers are seeking or looking for, and therefore, before they go to the job, before they get into job market, at least they will have something as to present to the employers, like the experience they gained during the internship. Okay? Due to this, second sentence, due to this, graduates will acquire the practical skills. The graduates will acquire practical skills, right? They will acquire practical skills and workplace experience employers expect, and workplace experience employers expect. Okay, employers expect, making them more competitive during recruitment. Making them more competitive during recruitment. Very good. We are saying that if the government introduces these programs, they will help the graduates to acquire practical skills. They will have practical skills and workplace experiences that employers expect. And therefore, during recruitment exercises, these graduates will at least be competitive amongst other applicants. Okay? Now, the third sentence we say, additionally, government should promote job creation by encouraging investment. Government, yes, government should create, promote job creation, should promote job creation by encouraging, yes, by encouraging investment, supporting businesses, investments, comma, supporting businesses, okay, supporting businesses, business expansion, and doing what? And offering tax what? And offering tax incentives to companies that recruit recent graduates. Tax incentives, okay, to companies that recruit recent graduates. Recruits recent graduate. Now, by doing this, the government will increase the employment opportunities. This will increase employment opportunities for the young job seekers. Yes, this will increase employment opportunities for young job seekers. Why? Because if the government now is supporting business expansion, for instance, it means that as more businesses will now be opening up and expanding to various places within the country, definitely it means that those places will be absorbing these job seekers or young graduates to fill in these positions that they have already opened. You know, if a business expands, it means maybe it now has so many branches within the country or outside the country. And that will also increase the chances of many graduates being employed, as well as encouraging investments. If the government will encourage investments, then definitely it means more investors will be coming into our countries, into our country to maybe invest on different types of businesses, and that will create employment. That will create employment, of course, by those jobs that will be created. So this is how we are saying that we will at least increase or create jobs for young job seekers. All right, an example is needed here. For instance, comma, For instance, comma, if university students complete compulsory internship, yes, if the university students complete compulsory internship before graduation and businesses receive financial incentives, if the university graduates complete compulsory complete compulsory internship before graduation, okay, before graduation, and businesses receive financial incentives, okay, to hire first-time employees, comma, graduates will possess relevant work experience. Graduate will possess relevant work experience. They will possess relevant work experience. They will possess relevant work experience while also having access to wider range of opportunities. Good. That is our example. If they have to finish compulsory internship and at the same time the businesses are receiving financial incentives, then definitely the graduates will have the work experience and they will also have access to very many wider range of opportunities. The last sentence here, which is our fifth sentence, we say, thus, by equipping graduates with practical work experience, by equipping graduates with practical work experience, and expanding employment opportunities, okay, expanding employment opportunities, what happens? Government can significantly reduce government can significantly reduce graduate unemployment okay, and help young people secure suitable jobs. And help young people secure secure jobs. That is our second paragraph. So we have already discussed the reasons in the first paragraph. We have now discussed the solutions, and now we want to conclude. The conclusion. We want to conclude. Now, this is a conclusion. Okay? Conclusion. In conclusion, many graduates struggle to find suitable jobs because many graduates struggle to get suitable jobs because why? They lack practical work experience. They lack practical work experience, okay, and face intense competition. All right, in the labor market. All right. However, now the solutions. However, if governments provide internship opportunities, if government provide internship opportunities and implement policies that do what? That create more that opens more job opportunities okay, that opens more job opportunities. This problem can significantly be reduced. Yes, that is our essay, problem solution essay. And that brings us to the end of this class. I hope you have understood how we structure these essays, and I hope you have taken your notes. In case you have any question or you need to write your essay for reviews, you can always find me on +25474690471. And my name is Brian. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next class when we'll be looking at our next question type, which will be, of course, the past paper. In this channel, we only focus on the recent questions that the students have done. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share also for your friends. And do not forget to leave your comment. I'll see you. Thank you.